Hello everyone. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Are making some really good trades, and let's dive into some analysis here. So Bitcoin, sorry, not Bitcoin. What am I saying? The S&P. I was talking about Bitcoin before, but now the S&P. Let's focus on the S&P. Getting a nice reaction out of this buy area here, down at 544. Same thing for the triple Qs. Also tagged the low down here. Again, in my opinion, I think we need one more low to finish off this fifth wave, but it could truncate and early, and this cycle doesn't have to fully complete, and then you could start the reversal or the bounce back to the highs here around 483. And again, if it turns into a five-wave move up, then we're going to get a larger rally here. But again, I think tech is very weak right now, so we got to be open to the idea, and we got to be weary that this thing could actually double correct, right? And which would mean more pain and more downside in this correction. Okay, so that's what I see here for the wave 4. Again, this was a big move up, so this can take time to correct back down, and it could go deeper and lower in the triple Qs. SPY is basically like almost just as much tech as the triple Qs, but not as much. And I think it will correct down with the triple Qs. The Dow Jones is set up a little bit better now. So it was looking like it could do a flat and then correct all the way back down to here. But now things are shaping up a bit more, that we've ended this correction with a three-wave move down. So this tells me this is setting up for another 5 waves up to finish off a fifth wave. Or sorry, the third wave could be, we could also be in the fifth, but for me, I have us in the third wave. Once this is complete, I can get rid of some counts here, but we should be correcting back down in another 4, and then another fifth. Again, this one might not be valid either, so we might have to get rid of some counts because this market is showing signs of a topping phase, right? So we got to be careful. We got to be careful now, because now it's going to get choppy. You're going to want to take your gains quickly as you see them, and you don't. I think the strong uptrend could be coming to an end here. Again, I took my gains on my IWM trade. Now the IWM is consolidating here, could be getting ready for a big move higher, right? In another 1-2-1-2 setup here. But if it does not hold out, if this doesn't reverse back up soon, then you're gonna have a flat, or a just not a flat, sorry, but a corrective move, an extension lower, which would mean here that you have another target of an ABC, and I'll show you guys where this is gonna go. If we actually stick with this target here, the highs that we made today, then you should ultimately come back down to about 214 to 211. It could extend down to 207, but I'll just leave it at 211 for now. So that's what I see here. That's what I see here in the short term. Since this is not very impulsive, kind of looks corrective. ABC, right? Could be an ABC. Just delete this for now. Let's just say it's the bearish case. Then this is gonna start to impulse down. You're gonna get one more. You're gonna fade the highs maybe with a 1-2, but then you're gonna rip back down, right? Maybe we get some bad news on Fed Day, and maybe we rally into Fed news, but we dump on it. So I don't know. I don't know what this is gonna end up, how this is gonna end up playing out, but it still shows that we could get more upside. The wave 4 can end up being down here or down here, but for me, I'm already out of my trade. If it dumps down here, I'll definitely take the long position on the IWM, or I'll be buying URTY, which is the triple leverage of the IWM. But if it right now at this point, I wouldn't take any trades here. It's very risky. Let's talk about the dollar very quickly. So the dollar looks like it needs more upside here. So like I was talking about, the dollar correcting a little bit higher is gonna be bearish for the market in the short term. Whoops. So that's the target right here, 104.9. Let's take a look at some other things that we've been calling beautifully. So again, took profits on the oil short today with this down with this last push down. To me, it looks like we're going to bounce up in another wave 2 and then come back down in another 3 and 4 later. So again, we could reshort oil. But for me, cashing in some profits today on the oil short. Again, we nailed this, something that we called in the top here. We called the top on oil right at 84.5. Let's take a look at some other things. Let's see the TLT. Let's see what TLT is doing, the yields, right? So TLT already came out of this buy area here. Now you just gotta be patient with it. Should come out of this in a pretty big impulsive move. Maybe Fed day, this week. That's when the yields start to capitulate, right? And that's maybe that's when the IWM either breaks out or collapses in on itself, and the Nasdaq and the S&P can rally as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how this is going to react, or maybe people panic into bonds because it's so bearish. So I don't know how this is going to end up playing out. And let's see here. Let's take a look at some individual names. So actually, some people asked me to do some special ones today in the comments. So again, you could always feel free to leave your comments in the description with maybe a ticker symbol. I'll be more than happy to do it. So to me, SoFi looks like it entered our buy area here. So if you guys were watching me last time for SoFi, then ultimately this was my target right here at $6.25 to $4.77, and it kind of just went into the buy area, and we had a 27% move. So that was your trade right there. Now it's setting up for an impulse higher. All right, you're setting up for a 1-2, although you could still be in the 2 as long as you hold this pivot low at 616, then this is still bullish. Let's take a look at the daily cycle and the weekly cycle as well. So the weekly cycle looks like it's breaking almost. No, it's not. It's not. It could fail. Again, this rally could fail. Take a look at the daily cycle. So the daily cycle broke. So you're probably in a short-term uptrend here, but you got to be careful, right? You got to be careful because this can't come back down and retest. So for me, the trade is already finished because whoever asked me for this for last time, I gave you guys the buy level down here, and I mean, it would have taken profits now. You can chance it for an ABC correction and buy it again and try and catch this wave 3. But if it doesn't end up playing out, then you got to be careful. You got to stop out of your positions. All right, let me take a look at Apple now. We'll cover the big names. So Apple looks like it needs one more dip here down to 212. 212 is the dip buy area. Microsoft also dipping down pretty hard. I have Microsoft as a flat here. So again, this would be very bearish for Microsoft. Same thing for Google. Google, if it's finished its 5th wave, then it's going to start an impulse down, which is extremely bearish. And I don't know if we want that, right? Let's see here. Meta is in a dip buy. Could be a dip buy here, but I don't like the trade setup. Let's take a look at Tesla. Tesla is actually, hit the dip buy area. Had a nice rally today, up 5.6%. Now we need to see follow through, and we need to see continuation, or else this is going to double correct, and it's going to cause maybe Tesla for this whole bullish move to fail. And this was just a failed breakout with a larger connector or a flat, and it's going to go back down to $100, and that's going to be pretty darn bearish if that happens. So it's got Tesla is an interesting trade. At the moment, you were underneath the line, now you're back over it, which is this big downsloping trend line. And ultimately, I'm bullish on Tesla if this level holds and if we see more upside. NVDA, like I said last time, looks like it needs one more low to finish off this cycle. And then we can have bullish divergence here with another low, take out the lows at 105. And then you're going to be set up for a big rally higher or a relief rally at the very least. Roku is in a tough spot at the moment. It's got earnings this week. It has a nice reaction off this channel that we've been in, and it hit the buy area as well. So for me, I'm in some full disclosure. I'm in some call positions on Roku, trying to play these earnings, and we're gonna see if the casino is gonna pay us out this week. All right, let's take a look at a few other things here. AMD. So AMD hit the sell area beautifully here, but now it looks like it's causing a double correction. So we're going to be looking for a B wave. right? We're going to be looking for this B wave back up, and ultimately another correction lower, which should lead us to go down to the $102 level, which is very unfortunate. Not something we wanted to hear. We were long here for this C leg at 155. We took our profits around 179, 176, something like that. We hit the sell area, and I myself tried to play this on the bullish side for a 1-2 setup on a dip buy at 156, I think, and it just ended up failing. So I had to stop out of my position, and for good reasons as well, because AMD completely broke the pivot here and failed. So this tells me that we're going to double correct and it's going to go lower. Obviously, we're going to get a B wave. It's going to suck a lot of people back in, a lot of hopium, and then it's going to fail back down. Again, it's unfortunate, but this is the way these charts go. These charts go sometimes, and you just got to accept it, right? All right. So let's take a look at some other things here. Let's take a look at Mara. So Mara crypto was in the hot seat today. Mara breaking back down here after Bitcoin made a high to 70K. It's back to 67,500 now, but it was definitely in a pickle. And to me, this kind of tells us maybe Bitcoin is going to correct down after making a new all-time high. So maybe we come back up here and then correct back down. So we got to be looking for another ABC, I think, in this double correction. And then after that, maybe it'll be done. So maybe it can do an overshooting B wave or extend the X even more. But for me, I think we're going to fade the highs here on Mara. If we if we get another opportunity to maybe short at 2640, and maybe we'll play some puts on it. I'll let you guys know inside the Discord. All right, I'll cover a few other things here. So a lot of people were really enjoying the previous video yesterday, and a lot of that has to do with it's not about me calling things correctly all the time, but it's about knowing where we are in the cycle, and that has avoided us from losing a lot of money. When we're down here back in April, I could tell people were already shorting and I think calling the top. And that was the wrong call, obviously, as the markets went up over 20% on the triple Qs and 11% on the SPY. Or almost 20% on the triple Qs, like 19%. And then we took our profits here on the triple Qs on the TQQQ, right? And then we got out we didn't get out just in time. We got out maybe a week before this whole thing started to fall apart, right? We probably got out a couple days to a week before the top of the triple Qs here, and it came back down. Now I'm saying that we could double correct down, or the correction could be pretty close to over, and we make one more high before we find an ultimate top in this market. We got bearish divergence on the larger time frames, most time frames, even on the monthly and the quarterly as well, and that tells me that we are very close to a significant top in this market, and we're getting ready for a major corrective move. But if it corrects right now, and it starts crashing, then we won't have a significant top. I think it's just gonna correct, but it won't go all the way, and it's gonna be supporting this market for even more upside in money printing. So people are thinking this is gonna crash right here, right now. I'm saying no, not just yet. The VIX is a telltale sign that things are getting out of hand. You can see we have this downsloping trend line on the VIX. Once we start to break out of this, we started taking a lot of profits. We cashed out a lot of positions, secured a lot of gains, because I said eventually it'll come back down for a fair bit, but it's going to start breaking out again, maybe in October, maybe later on during the year, and that's when the turmoil is really going to start. You can see these long-term patterns on the VIX. They break out eventually, and when they do, you get these big moves, right? 2020, big market collapse. 17, you had a big pullback in 17, 2015, and then you had one in 08, obviously, the big crash in 08, and then so on and so forth, right? So this is a pretty big one here as well. So we got to be paying attention to it. And I'm saying it could go on, you know, we could come back down here and chop around until October, November, where the wedge really starts to meet its climax, or even into next year, right? Where we really reach the peak and things are forced out of control. So yeah, guys, you know, I'm still bullish this market. There's no reason to be calling panic mode here, but it's caution mode now. It's not panic mode. It's caution mode, and secure your gains and play for profits, and don't play going all in, stuff like that. Have a good day, guys. Peace.